morning and welcome to North of 60. I'm Heidi Schwaghofer. I know my voice sounds absolutely awful. I just had the worst cold of my life. This is my second in a series of three interviews with people who are in leadership positions in our surrounding communities. And we're going to talk specifically about what they offer to their senior population. So today, my guest is Mayor Glenn Broska from Streetsboro. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Heidi. I appreciate it.
Now, before we start with any of the information about seniors, tell me about yourself. How long have you been a mayor? When did you start? What is your city government like?
Well, I was first elected and took office on 12/6/11. I'm in my third term now.
Oh my heavens.
Yeah, and I'm up for re-election in November. I don't foresee a lot of problem getting re-elected. We've done a lot of good things over there. We have the mayor is the chief executive officer of the city.
Oh, okay.
But we have a strong council form of government where there's certain powers that are granted me by the charter, but the council is truly the ones. I have to go to them about money and about a lot of different things, and I'm very blessed right now in that the council that we currently have in place sees the vision, and they are working with me. There has been times in the past when there were certain councils that did everything they could to thwart what we were doing, and it is amazing to me, Heidi, when you have a council that works with you instead of against you, how much you can accomplish. And I'm very, very pleased with the current city council, and they in turn are pleased with me. Our lines of communication are open. We're very transparent. Just the level of cooperation is well beyond what one would expect.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On having that happen. I mean, that is a big deal in getting things moving forward in the community.
It certainly is.
Do you live there?
Yes, I've lived there. I moved to Streetsboro in 1989, and I was a part-time firefighter for the city of Streetsboro for 17 and a half years.
Good for
and concurrently, I worked starting in 1994. I worked at the city of Twinsburg as a firefighter, and I was a captain on the city of Twinsburg for almost 12 years, and then from there, that's when I decided I wanted to run for mayor of Streetsboro.
Good for you. Good for you. Interesting career.
Oh, it is. It very much is.
Tell me a little bit about the population in Streetsboro. Remind me again about the number of citizens, and then how many, I know it's kind of generic, but how many would you say are over 60?
Well, right now we have 17,260. And from 2010 to 2020, we were still the fastest growing city in Portage County. Us and Aurora normally run neck and neck. In the census, they were only 21 people behind us. So
wow, yeah, that is pretty close.
So yeah, we're really not far behind Kent as far as being the biggest city, but naturally Kent has all the students and they count them.
Right.
Right now, our senior citizen population over 65, we have about 2,800 over 65, and then on the 60 to 64 range, we have about 1,200. So we have about 4,000 of our residents that are in that age bracket of over 60.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Ours in Hudson, almost, not quite, but almost a fourth of our residents
that's basically what we are, 25%.
Are over 60. And you know it's going to keep climbing as we all get, unfortunately, younger. But yeah, as we get older.
I turned 65 yesterday, so I'm
turning 70 in August, so I got you beat. We're going to talk, I want to talk about what you offer, why you offer it, and sort of all the services that a senior living in Streetsboro could have. First, let me ask you this. Do most of your seniors live at home or in condos or something, or do they live in retirement type communities?
Most of them live in single-family residential or apartments. We have a couple retirement communities, but they are still alone. They live in a community, but they live by themselves.
Okay.
But most of them still live in their homes. You know, Streetsboro was built on the backs of the folks that worked at the Chrysler plant and the Chevy plant and stuff like that. And, you know, we really started growing back in the late 50s with a few of the housing developments. And most of the people that lived in there worked at Chrysler, they worked at Chevy, and they stayed there. And we're very proud of the amount of people that have not only chosen to live there, but have chosen to remain there. And the senior citizens are a very important part of our thought process.
I'm glad to hear that.
Well, thank you.
Now, before the show, you were telling me a little bit about your senior center, upcoming community center. So tell me what you've had in the past for seniors in terms of a location.
Well, the first location that we had was at our previous city hall, which was in an old school building that the city purchased from the schools. We had a small, it was probably a 60 by 60 area that housed our senior facilities. And about 5 years ago, it came about that we wanted to build a new city hall. We felt it was time. And being that the building that we had, you know, people said it was good bones, but when we did the survey to see what it would cost us to bring this thing up to speed, it was about twice as much as what it would cost us to build new.
Wow.
So we opted to tear that building down, and that land has remained vacant. And then we moved our offices to 555 Frost Road, and we moved the seniors over to, we called it the McMichael building, and they had a nice home there for a few years. And then McMichael sold it off to another person, and they immediately wanted to jack our rent. And we said, well, we're not going to do that. And we actually approached the schools. They have a building, they call it the Annex, and we approached the schools, and the schools welcomed us with open arms. They gave us 3 classrooms in there, one of which we turned into the senior facility, and we house our Parks and Rec department. Well, we always knew that we wanted to put the seniors in their own place. We wanted something dedicated from them. You know, just like anybody, people don't like to be uprooted, and we've uprooted them twice now.
It's time.
We don't want to do that. So we have a series of capital projects that we wanted to do, and the first one that we decided to do was a community center. And we sat down and we decided on the size and the amenities we're going to offer. And it's going to be open to all of our citizens, but primarily Monday through Friday. During the day, it's going to serve our senior citizens. And
that's excellent.
Yeah, it's about a 7,500 square foot building. We'll have a gathering area that can accommodate up to about 150 people.
Oh, wow.
And then we'll have, I think there's 2 or 3 rooms that are dedicated just for the seniors, and it'll also have our parks office. And it's located at Streetsboro City Park, so the seniors there have access to all the amenities in City Park. We just redid our tennis courts and added pickleball courts. We have shelters down there where they can have picnics. We put a walkway in for the benefit of everybody, but we put a walkway in through the park, so the seniors will have instant access.
Place, yeah.
Yeah. So we're very excited about it, and it's already under construction. We're not talking about something that's gonna be. They're down there now. They're pouring the footers, and the walls are going up soon.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, and
I bet your seniors are looking forward to it.
Yeah, they grumbled at me quite a bit when we had to move them around.
I'm sure. It is important, I think, to have a space that feels permanent and that we can use, we can leave our stuff there. We know where the kitchen is, we know where the restrooms are, and I think that's a very important thing to have.
Well, nobody likes to be uprooted.
No, of course.
Yeah.
So what are you going to offer, or what do you offer now? Do you have classes? Do you have lectures? Do you have exercise classes? What do you do now? What will you do then?
A whole litany of things. These are 6
amazing.
pages These are 6 pages out of our. We publish quarterly a pamphlet that gets mailed out to every home in the city from Parks and Rec. And in it, there are 6 pages of activities that are for our seniors. We went so far as to, we bought a bus, and we used the bus to take them to the casinos. We used the bus to take them to plays. We take them on tours. We are very blessed in that our senior citizen director, our senior center director, she's just a ball of energy. And she is always thinking of things that we can do with the seniors. And the trips are very well attended. Plus, we have a lot of the nursing homes in the area that will sponsor activities. They sponsor lunches. We have we have Halloween parties. We have Christmas parties. We have New Year's parties. The pickleball courts are there for them. There are a whole litany of things, and they're all outlined in our
I was
brochure.
amazed at what you have. I really was amazed at what you have.
Got to give credit where credit's due, and that's on our senior citizen director. She does a great job.
We don't have a director in Hudson. So is your director full-time?
Yes, our director is full-time, and it's a position that is funded by the city. And then she has an assistant that's part-time that works. And then plus they have the volunteers there that are part of the Senior Citizens Association. We currently have 175 people that are dues-paying members of the Senior Citizen Association. And a lot of those
is
volunteer.
your dues, is it a large amount of money they pay every year?
No, I think it's like $5 or something.
Okay,
it's nothing, nothing that's going to break anybody.
Yeah.
But they get a very significant return on their investment.
Oh, I completely agree. We offer lunches once a month, but it's our nursing homes or residentials. Right. They sponsor it, so they pay for the meal, which is nice to have.
Oh yeah. Well, they're looking at future customers.
Sure, they are. I know it. So your senior director then and her assistant decide on the programming. Correct. Do they have to go to city council to get approval for, well, certainly for the bus, but do they have to get approval for anything that they do, or do they just sort of run it by you and say, hey, we think we're going to go to the casino we've got 50 people who want to go, and that kind of thing? Is it a more casual thing, or do they have to get constant approval from?
Well, they work, the senior citizens, their director comes under the direction of our Parks and Rec director. That's who our senior citizens come under. And anything, I don't want to say anything, but a lot of stuff that they do goes through Greg Meidinger, who's the Parks and Rec director. And the only time that we would have to go to council is if we wanted to spend more than $20,000. Anything else is under, is under his direction, and there's very little that they need to get. In fact, there's virtually nothing that they have to get outside permission for. They do provide a report to council so they know what the activities are, but the funding comes in Parks and Rec, and when Greg does his budget, we budget for certain things, and it comes out of specific funds, and we make sure that the seniors have the funding that they need.
Let me ask you this. And I'm asking because I really don't know. So we have some friends who own property in Port Clinton, and they were talking about their property taxes. And they said, well, we pay for all these things, and then one of the line items is seniors. So through their property tax structure, X amount per home goes directly into the senior coffer.
Oh my goodness.
Which is under Parks and Recreation there as well. How did the city have to get a grant or a levy, or did you increase your property taxes in order to pay for these things?
No, it's all funded out of what we call the 101 or the general fund, and that is the general fund is funded by income taxes, the different income taxes that we have. We get a small stipend from the county as far as the property taxes that are paid back, but we fund it from within the department. There's no levy for there's no levy for the seniors.
All right. Now, what other things do you offer? There are some communities, and I'll just sort of list them. They offer snow plowing. They offer trash pickup. Some offer spring and fall yard cleanup or leaf raking. I'm trying to think of what else. One community has a van that will run a group of seniors to the grocery store or to the pharmacy once a week or something like that. Do you guys offer any of those services to your seniors?
We do. We were able to apply for CDBG grant funding, Community Development Block Grant funding, and a lot of our stuff is income based. But we offer lawn mowing, we offer leaf pickup, we offer senior snow plowing. Like I said, we do have the bus. I know that the bus doesn't go to the grocery store, but through PARTA, Portage Area Regional Transit, the disabled and some of the elderly can get transportation from them back and forth to doctors. And I don't think it goes to the grocery store though.
Okay.
But we do offer, those services, and like I said, they're income based, and
Sure.
when you think about it, if someone can well afford to have those other things, let's make it available to the people
Who can't.
can't.
I completely agree with you. I think I was stunned when I heard lawn mowing. You offer lawn mowing.
Yeah, it's
my
bid out. It's bid out. The seniors receive a voucher for X amount of cuts a year, and when they get their lawn cut, they give the guy that does it, they give him a voucher, and he submits it to the county, and the county pays him for it. And then we do leaf pickup, and and actually the city does leaf pickup for all the citizens, but they do the yard raking, and they just rake the leaves to the road, and the city comes down and picks up
And
the
picks
leaves.
them up.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And plus, we offer the trips everywhere through the bus. I mean, that was a great investment on our part, and we can take a lot of people. And if they need a bigger bus, then they get a bigger bus.
Well, your neighbor in Macedonia just bought their bus like in the last week or two, and they are thrilled to have theirs too, so they can take day trips. Who vets income? Does the senior director receive an application, for example, from a senior saying, I need to have snow plowing this year, and then she sort of does a income search with that senior?
Well, it filters through my office. My assistant, we put the applications out, and people do have to provide proof of income, but I believe that it's a very, and I'm pretty sure it's about 175% of the poverty level. So it puts you up in the $35,000 to $40,000 a year range where you can apply for it. It's a very generous.
That is generous.
Yeah. So it works out pretty good, and I want to say we have about 65 seniors that are currently involved, and we also offer that for trash pickup, where income dependent, we will do your trash and recycling too, and that's paid for by the city, and we work through our hauler, and the hauler will, if you apply for the trash pickup, we can do that, and that is available to the seniors and the disabled being any age, but
Sure.
as long as they meet the income guidelines.
Sure. I'm so impressed with this.
Well, thank you.
I truly am. I truly am. Tell me, and I'm not trying to blindside you here, tell me why this is important to you. Why does your senior population matter to you as mayor?
They're the ones that built the city.
Amen to that.
When you think about it, the retention and carryover of the seniors that were here when we were only 2,000 and 3,000 and 4,000 people, they put their roots here and they stayed here. And a lot of people, back in the day, we really didn't have the type of retirement programs and stuff that we have now. And a lot of these folks, they're economically challenged, and they've paid their dues. You know what I mean? They really have paid their dues. They've raised us. They've done they've done the things in the past that they need to do, and it's incumbent upon us to do what we can. If I had my druthers, senior citizens wouldn't pay property taxes.
Well, do you know that I have been hearing about that? There are a few areas, I think I want to say in Florida, I'm not sure if I'm correct with the state, but that are now proposing that people over the age of, I think it was 70, should not have to pay property taxes
Oh, I mean,
anymore.
it just makes,
That
Heidi,
can be,
it just makes
that's
sense.
so burdensome.
It is, and especially with the with the
Limited income.
how high the property taxes are going. In Ohio, your property taxes pay for your school, and here we have 24% of our population that don't have any children in school, but yet they're shouldering the responsibility, and people, many people are on limited incomes, and I'm sure that they could live a better life if they weren't paying $2,000 and $3,000 and $4,000 a year for property taxes. And in my eyes, in my opinion, they've earned it. They've been paying property taxes their whole life, and I just, if it ever came, it's definitely something that I would support.
One of the problems we have one of the issues we have in Hudson is seniors like me and my husband. We're now in the same home that we were in, excuse me, when we raised our daughter. And it's too big. I don't need all this space. And we want to downsize, and I want to downsize to a first floor living concept because stairs are a little harder than they used to be. And we have almost no spaces, no places in Hudson at all that offer single level living. And the ones that are there are right now there's like a war when one goes up for sale. Everybody wants to get there.
Yeah.
Do you have communities in Streetsboro that are kind of the downsizing senior citizen mentality?
Well, we have one condominium development right now, and I believe there's close to 100 units in there. And like you just said, the competition for those is fierce. One of our housing developments on State Route 43, Meadowview, there's 541 homes in there. And in one particular section, they actually built homes with seniors in mind. They're all single-story ranches. They're all in now that doesn't say that if you're a family, you can't live there, okay? But they built them with the folks in mind that want to live on one story. They do have basements with them, but they want to live on one story. They're 3 bedrooms, and you can. You can, for a senior to have a one-story living, you can have that. We do have another developer we're working through some things with that wants to put in some more senior housing. There will be single-family residential, and we are working towards that right now. Big thing with us right now is that our R1 or R2, which is our residential developments, we're out of space. Most of our city, probably about 40% of the city is what we call rural residential, and it is for single families, but you have to build on a 2 or 2.5 acre lot. And we have what they call referendum zoning, and any change to the zoning or the density would have to go to the voters. And the voters have made it abundantly clear to us that they like that rural character. And we're probably not going to be successful in changing any zoning out there, even if we wanted to. But we're working on it.
So you have seen growth in the seniors who come to your places and come to your programming, and are you getting anybody from surrounding areas?
Oh, absolutely. We have a lot of members from Ravenna, from Schillersville. We have some members from Hudson.
I bet.
And I'm sure, and we have some members from Aurora. And it's just a place for people to gather and talk and reminisce. And I mean, it's a great service that is provided for the seniors in the city. and adjoining communities.
I'm just, you should be so proud of this. I really mean that
I
from
am.
the bottom of my heart. I really so appreciate your outlook and your respect for people over the age of 60 and how important it is to have them as our premier residents.
They built the city,
They built the city.
and they've seen it in the good times and in the bad times. They're seeing the good times now.
They're seeing that. That's good. I really thank you for coming. I
Oh, my
appreciate
pleasure.
it so much. I hope you are learning things from these interviews. I apologize again for my coughing. I hope it didn't interrupt anything. I think that what my goal here is to look at what other folks are doing, smaller than us, compared to what we're doing here at this time in Hudson. So I hope you enjoyed the show. And I want to thank the mayor for being here.
And thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I really do.